Only week 3 of the NFL season, and already this is a very, very important game for the Philadelphia Eagles. What's going on, everybody? Philly Mike back. So again, it's still early in the season, but this week 3 matchup is very important. We're getting the Detroit Lions coming into our house, into the Link, for week 3 matchup that is crucial for our season going forward. I mean, we're 1-1 after a hard fought battle to the Atlanta Falcons that we came up just a little short, literally inches short. Now we get to come back home and face a team that throughout the many years they've been around has been like subpar. I mean, the Calvin Johnson era with Matthew Stafford, the Lions used to be somewhat relevant. Matthew Stafford, you know, his record doesn't show he's a good quarterback, but he could sling the ball around. And this year, the Lions do have a couple deadly weapons. That boy Kenny Golladay is up and coming. They signed their first round draft pick was that tight end TJ Hawkinson. You know, week 1 against the Cardinals, he put on a show. And they still got, you know, Marvin Jones and, you know, that's pretty good passing attack. You know, 2 good receivers and a tight end. And Matthew Stafford's always been able to sling the ball. Stats is not his issue. It was just wins. And that's the organization. From the top to the bottom, they've been subpar. But, like, this is the best Lions team probably in the last couple years. Not the Calvin Johnson years, but the last couple. They're coming to Philly. Everybody knows we beat up. We definitely beat up. I do like our young receivers. I mean, Arcega-Whiteside has been getting a lot of talk in this offseason, so it's time for him to prove, you know, what everybody was saying about him. It's time for him to make his money, so to say. Mac Hollins, like I said, he had a promising rookie career. He got derailed with a sophomore season injury. Sophomore season, he got injured and he didn't play the whole year. And so it's time for him to make a name for himself too. And, you know, we're still going to have Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz, 2, you know, people who've been with the Eagles for a while and know how to get things, you know, flowing as well. The Lions' defense is definitely underrated. Their defensive line has actually been playing good these 2 games. They've been getting sacks and pressure on these quarterbacks. They had what's his name? Kyler Murray in week 1 running for his life, except all the way up into the 4th quarter. And, you know, we're coming off that last week's performance where our offensive line looked by far the worst almost I've ever seen, and in all aspects. Carson Wentz was running for his life, just getting popped. And, I mean, our running backs couldn't get a sliver, a little hole, couldn't get nothing. So we definitely got to bounce back at that. Our offensive line is way too talented. I mean, Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Jason Peters, and I'm going to say your name last, and only your last name, Samamalu, because you were the main reason we were trash. They're way too talented, though. So we got to start there. You know, football starts on both fronts, the defensive line and the offensive line. We need to create that time for Wentz to see down the field. And like I said, we need to establish the run game. This is no doubt, okay? It's week 3. You know, we couldn't get into the run game in the first half of the Redskins game because we were trailing. We couldn't get into the run game against Atlanta because we were trailing. And the fact that even when we tried to get the run game going, again, we just couldn't. No holes, no openings. Everything just looked bad in the run support, in the run option. We did get going a little bit in the 4th quarter against the Washington Redskins, but that's neither here or there. It's over with. We got that W. They're not a good defensive team, so we need to establish a run. Better yet, the most important thing that I've been saying on every video that I made so far is we got to start fast. I'm not saying come out and drop 21 in the 1st quarter, even though I would love that. I'm saying get points in the 1st quarter. Just get some points in the 1st quarter. Like, get points in the 1st quarter. I mean, football's 4 quarters, not 2, not 1, not 3, 4. Again, last year being last place and 1st quarter points, we starting again. we damn sure got to be in last because we got 0 points in 2 first quarters. Now, there might be some other teams that have that. I think probably the Miami Dolphins even have. Nah, they don't. But yeah, so we need to start fast. Start fast and start with the run. And from there on, like I said, every offense that got a run game, you should see this. The pass game just comes hand in hand with it. You know what I mean? The defensive line, can't pin their ears back and come right at the quarterback. It's a big difference when you say, oh, damn, it's 2nd and 5. I don't know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Instead of it's 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 7, and they're like, oh, he's going to pass. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. So like I said last week, week 3, it's taking us to week 3, but this is the week that Doug Peterson commits to the run game. He's going to commit to the run game in this week, and it's going to do wonders for us. 2 reasons I think he's going to commit to the run game this week and he didn't the other weeks. Biggest reason, lack of receivers. The young boy receivers on the outside and Arcega-Whiteside and Matt Collins, he's going to want to take the pressure off them and he's going to want to run the ball. Another reason is because, like I said, he wants to. He hears the chatter. He hears the questions. Why aren't we running the ball? Why are we abandoning the run? He knows he has to. You know what I mean? He wrote a book in 2017 after he won the 2018 Super Bowl, 2017-2018 season when he won the Super Bowl. He wrote a book called Fearless. If you want to get back to writing books, Doug, run the ball. 2017, we did not have a leading rusher because we were still doing that committee with LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi. You know what I mean? Corey Clement came into the mix later in the year too, who had a big Super Bowl. But we ran a committee. But we were in the top 5 teams in the NFL in rushing, which did wonders for Carson Wentz. That play action was dirty. Carson Wentz let the game come to him instead of forcing things. You know what I mean? When he's not dropping back multiple times, the game will come to him, and he knows how to make the throws. You've seen that throw in Atlanta on that 3rd and 9. That 3rd and 9, he goes down. We have no chance. He gets tackled right before his knee hits the ground, throws a beauty to Matt Collins. Carson Wentz is going to do more of that stuff if we have the run game, taking pressure off him, taking pressure off the O-line to block for Carson Wentz. So we're going to start with that run game, most importantly. And it all comes down to patience. You don't hit the home run every time you run. If the first 5 runs are getting stuffed, don't abandon it, Doug. Don't abandon it. A good run game starts with patience. So have that patience in this matchup against the Detroit Lions. Real quick, I'm going to finish up with defense. It got a little darker. I had to take care of some kid stuff, you know what I'm saying? Can't forget about the kids, except for on Sundays when I'm watching the Eagles. But real quick, I'm going to finish up on defense. I had to go to a later spot. We're going to get tested again. We just got tested in Atlanta. We're going to get tested again at the Link against Detroit. They got a good passing attack. Matthew Stafford still slings the ball, like I said in the opening parts of this video. I know a lot of people do not like Ronald Darby right now, and I can't stick up for him because he got burnt more times than I can count in that Falcon game. But just remember, I can't remember if it was his Achilles or his ACL. He tore last year, close to the end of the year. So he's coming off. If it's an ACL, it's one thing, but if it's Achilles, that's big. And so if he's coming off the Achilles, maybe he's just not right. I mean, because he was never this bad. He wasn't great, but he wasn't this bad. And so maybe Jim Schwartz got to think about giving him less snaps. You know what I'm saying? But the whole defense did lock up a little bit in the second half. In the second half, we played a whole different kind of defense. We blitzed more. So I want to see that same intensity in the second half. I want to see that at the opening gates. The first defensive possession, I want to see that. I want to see a blitz. You know what I mean? Smart blitzes, though. You can still blitz and keep safety over the top. You know what I mean? You can still do that. You can find ways. But like I said, we're going to need to step up at D-tackle. We're going to have to rotate our whole line. So it's not just Fletcher Cox, Hassan Ridgeway, and Akeem Spence taking all the D-tackle snaps. We're going to have to rotate Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, Vinny Curry, Josh Sweat is going to have to play some inside as well. But we're going to have to rotate everybody around to make sure we helping out them boys in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I got our defense just overall playing a lot better than what it's been. It's going to show that we can contend with some receivers. We can't still stop them big name receivers, but we're going to have better schemes. Defensive line is going to play better. It's going to happen. Our defensive line is still too talented to be doing what it's been doing. So again, it's still early. We're going to work out these crinks, and we're going to beat the Detroit Lions. I got us getting a W, and my score prediction is going to be 31 Philly and 24 Detroit. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles winning 31-24. Even though we're better with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey, we're going to have our best offense performance just because of the balance in the attack with the run game and Carson Wentz putting the team on his shoulder in the pass game. And we're going to beat them, like I said, 31-24. Like the video. If you want to see more videos and you want to follow the Philadelphia Eagles, hit that subscribe button. We out.